Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. P, and Elizabeth wanted me to read a Pete the Cat book. And so I've got an I Can Read, it's just a beginning reading level. I've got Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar by James Dean. So here's some stuff that just tells your parents how to help you read. Oh, how nice it would be. So we've got I Can Read, Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar. Pete is on a bug safari. He and his friends are looking for bugs. How many bugs can they find? Callie spots a tiny black ant. It's building an anthill, she says. Groovy, says Pete. And Gus finds a round red ladybug in the mint patch. It has 9 spots, says Gus. Nice, says Pete. Marty sees a big black spider. It caught a fly, he says. Neat, says Pete. And Pete finds a green caterpillar in the flower pot. I'll bring it home to show Mom and Dad, he says. I like his hat. Mom helps Pete build a home for the caterpillar. They use a big jar. And Dad puts lots of little holes in the lid so that it has air. And Pete puts his caterpillar in the jar. Pete puts some leaves in the jar for the caterpillar to eat. He adds a twig for it to crawl on. Look, so it'll be happy. And then they are all there, tucking Pete in bed. Good night, Pete, says Mom. Good night, Pete, says Dad. Good night, Caterpillar, says Pete. When Pete wakes up, the caterpillar's gone. Where did it go? Did it run away? We know it can't run because it doesn't have tennis shoes on those little caterpillar feet. It's not gone, says Mom. It did not run away, says Dad. Look, they say. Okay, look. So here's that little cocoon. But I'm going to bring this up. And it's just hanging on that little branch. See what happens. The caterpillar is inside there, says Mom. It's called a pupa. Can you say pupa? Will it stay in there forever, Pete asks. No, says Dad. The caterpillar is changing into something new. What will it become, Pete asks. It's a surprise, says Mom. We must wait and see. Pete waits. Callie comes to visit. Did it come out yet, she asks. Not yet, says Pete. Pete waits some more. Gus comes to visit. Did it come out yet, he asks. Not yet, says Pete. Pete waits longer. Marty comes to visit. Did it come out yet, he asks. Not yet, says Pete. Pete waits. And he waits. And he waits. And then, one day, something finally happens. The pupa starts to wiggle. Something's happening, says Pete. It wiggles some more. Everyone comes over to watch. And then the pupa cracks open. Something's coming out. What can it be? A head pokes out, and then some legs, and then 2 colorful wings. The caterpillar changed into a beautiful butterfly. Wow, says Pete. The butterfly slowly moves its wings up and down It's ready to fly. So they take the jar to the park. Time to say goodbye, says Dad. And Pete opens the lid of the jar. And the butterfly flaps its wings, and it flutters out of the jar and lands right on Pete's nose. That tickles, he says. And then the butterfly flies up in the sky. Bye-bye, butterfly, everyone says. Let's find a new caterpillar, says Pete. Change is pretty cool. And that's the end of that book. So, Elizabeth, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else does too, with Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar. Bye.